G'day. I was intrigued by the idea of someone calling out gamers Nexus for supposedly lying in one of their latest videos. Now, Thrash has made a similar video in the past where he called out Digital Foundry for really trying to oversell certain features and graphical capabilities of Gears 5. It was a pretty fair video, and he showed many examples as to why even older Gears games felt more immersive with what you could interact with and how the world was designed, both level design and how it looked graphically. Surprisingly enough, in his latest video, no such examples are shown at all. So what I'll do is I'll cover his response, if you want to call it that, to Gamers Nexus, and then we'll tackle the rest of his video because it's rather interesting.
The nigga went off and said that the PlayStation 5 is not is it's the equivalent of a mid to high grade PC that was 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just I just trip off of that, right? Like, I just trip off of that. That's disturbing as fuck to hear from some nigga who claims to be some kind of tech nigga. It's equal to Digital Foundry. I had that same problem with Digital Foundry when they say shit that don't make no fucking sense.
That's essentially his entire argument right there, outside of a fabricated lie that will be addressed later in the video. A 30-second clip that might as well be summarized as, "I don't like this video." No counterpoints, no showing of any clips. He doesn't even tell you the title, show you the thumbnail, or even talk more in depth about the points he disagrees with. This clip is the closest we get.
I don't have the clip, right? So go watch him. You know what I'm saying? Go watch it. It's like his second most recent video. Go check it out. I mean, if you ain't heard about it.
So instead, I'll do his work for him. One flaw in Steve's testing is that allegedly DMC5 runs at a resolution of more than 1080p in its 120 FPS mode, as pointed out in this Digital Foundry video. Do with that info as you will. I know some people don't like Digital Foundry, they don't really take anything that they say seriously, so if you want to do that, then that's on you. And this would make sense though in terms of the performance shown in Steve's video, because the 1060 was supposedly trading blows with the PS5. It simply might not have been tested at the exact same settings, and the resolution difference would equate to a major performance difference. Another point to make about Steve's video is that the two other games tested show performance that doesn't quite match what the on paper and in theory performance of the PS5 is. This should speak greatly to the importance of optimizing for the hardware in question. If the PS5 performance output of Borderlands 3 and Dirt 5 is equivalent to a 1070 Ti instead of the 2070 Super suggested in this comparison of Assassin's Creed Valhalla by Digital Foundry again, then the question should be why the devs haven't put in the work to take advantage of the hardware to its full extent, not whinge about Steve simply showing you an FPS counter. Some people have also pointed out that tech from a few years ago didn't exist today, such as the speeds of the PS5's SSD, ray tracing, and GDDR6 memory. While that may be true, none of those features have been fully taken advantage of yet. Keep in mind I said yet. Maybe once more games are designed around the hardware of the new consoles exclusively, we'll see a higher performance output, but again, that speaks to the quality of development for the game shown. If we just look at raw performance, this is what it's doing right now. Now then, let's rewind a bit and cover the rest of the video.
I don't care about any of that. I don't care about how a nigga feel about a PlayStation or an Xbox or console gaming. And I don't give a fuck. I mean, if you don't like it, don't like it. I don't give a shit. What I hate is when facts get twisted. I hate that shit, like with a passion. I just can't stand it. And PC dudes always, I think the problem I have with PC is that their gamers don't understand that we don't give a fuck about what you give a fuck about. And you don't give a fuck about what we give a fuck about. The baffling thing for me is that I give a fuck about games. Right? I mean,
so he doesn't care about the bashing of the PS5 and only cares about games. Keep that second point in mind.
PC nigga, right? Now, I'm going to speak from a console nigga's point of view, right? My nigga, what games do you have in the past 5 motherfucking years that look better than the game that I'm showing you right motherfucking now, huh?
And that point of his is made invalid instantly. Only cares about the games. Then decides to pick a side and turn this into a me versus you situation. You'll have to get used to this because I'll be bringing it up quite a few times in the video.
I'm looking at God of War right now. Please, for the love of fucking God, show me something better in the past 5 fucking years. If this shit just can't do it in 5 years.
Define better. Do you want something with higher resolution textures? Do you want the closest thing to real life? Do you want the best looking game that also maintains the highest possible frame rate? Minecraft with ray tracing, Metro Exodus, Total War, Warhammer 2, Cyberpunk at just high settings, let alone with ray tracing turned on, Doom Eternal, Control, Hitman? Or do you want something visually pleasing regardless of its closeness to real life? In that regard, we have Disco Elysium, Ori, Outer Wilds, Breath of the Wild through emulation on PC. Plenty of games to choose from.
The point is of PC, this is why I have a problem with PC. Because they spend so much money yearly, nigga, yearly. So fucking much money. They have so many parts they gotta buy and shit. Motherfucking graphics card come out every year costing $1,200 motherfucking dollars and shit. Niggas wanna be on the top of the podium to play old ass games. You know what I'm saying? At a little bit higher resolution or frame rate than what the last card was.
If someone cared about gaming in general, do you think they would be dismissive of someone for enjoying any game they have fun with? In 2020, I finished for the first time in my life Grim Fandango. I was rocking a Ryzen 2400, 16 gigs of RAM and a 1660 Super. Complete overkill to play that game, but I never played it. I wanted to play it, and it's an absolute classic that I enjoyed a lot. Want to know what I finished about a month prior? Doom Eternal. The beauty of my PC is that I have the choice to experience older titles at my leisure or play newer stuff. I didn't get to play every game as they came out, so a lot of the time I'll come across an older title and give it a go. Planescape Torment is considered one of the greatest narratives in gaming, but in your eyes it would be a bad thing to go back to something from 1999 because apparently only modern games matter. At least that's the point you seem to be making with your dismissive attitude.
On a fucking 32-inch goddamn monitor, nigga. And I know you can hook a PC to a big TV, bitch. I know, I get it, I understand that. Yes, you can, but you don't want to do that. And I know why you don't want to do that, my nigga. Because most TVs ain't going to be able to run that resolution that you're going to want to run on a goddamn monitor, my nigga. I get it.
I'm not sure what kind of point this is, because with it we might as well say that using a TV as a display for any gaming machine is pointless due to not being able to run the resolution you want to run at.
What I don't get is you niggas want to continuously compare consoles to PC. Look.
Sometimes a general comparison can be interesting. Other times it's a crusade led by elitists, gatekeepers and fanboys to try and one-up the competition. You are actively acting in this manner. If you weren't, then you wouldn't have asked for a game that looks better than your personal favourite, despite making the claim that all you care about is games in general. A person that enjoys just the games doesn't ask others to justify their platform of choice.
But when your game's output isn't better, how much better is it actually, my nigga? How much better is the PC than console? The best looking games on PC came from consoles.
You're going to have to expand on this point for starters by listing some examples. Secondly, let's just pretend that the best looking games to ever exist on PC are only console ports. Not multi-platform developed games, but straight ports. What is the point you were trying to make? Would the value I get from my PC be less because you decided with your checkerboarded 30 FPS eyes that nothing looks good on PC? Again, I have to ask, how does someone who only cares about games suddenly become so dismissive of other games because they're not on your platform of choice?
You know what I'm saying? You brush off ray tracing even though that's wasn't available for you fuck-ass PC 5 years ago.
Plenty of people brushed off ray tracing for legitimate reasons. The required hardware to achieve smooth frames at even 1080p was too high with a rather high cost to go along with it. Even with more powerful hardware, ray tracing is not the standard in gaming just yet.
We know it fucking loads better, right? Automatically the SSD shits on that 5-year-old motherfucking PC that you had 5 motherfucking years ago. There are things that the PlayStation does better as a hardware than that 5-year-old shit that you wanted to compare to, but you don't want to compare that but then you want to say something's not valuable or usable or it's not a good place to game. Like, how ain't it a good place to game? And I'm paraphrasing. I know his ass didn't say the shit that like how I'm saying it, but that's what the fuck he's saying.
Instead of paraphrasing a point that wasn't made at all, I highly recommend you just watch at least the conclusion section of Steve's video.
Same thing with PC. It's like PC niggas. Y'all spend all this money to run World Warcraft, and that shit look like a sharp ass Nintendo 64 game.
Sometimes a game will release with a certain art style in mind. Sometimes a dev can't or chooses not to aim for the highest fidelity graphics with the most realistic character design. Why is that a bad thing? Dishonored looks like an oil painting, and that unique art style is one of my favorite things about the game. It's something different and still manages to pull off some rather beautiful scenery. But I imagine you, the man who only cares about games, would disagree, probably because of something along the lines of, nah, human no look like that.
It's like I don't even gotta fucking analyze Gamer Nexus's video.
Well, you could at least try to. At least pretend that you took in what was being presented and form some sort of argument against it. Otherwise, this video on you might as well be rewritten as, I didn't even watch Thrash's video, but he made the most uninformed points ever.
Where are your fucking games?
Well, some of my games are on my 3TB hard drive. The bigger ones where I feel like loading times matter a bit more are on my NVMe SSD.
PC, let me tell you something about you PC niggas. Y'all niggas is waiting for our games to come to PC. Y'all niggas is hoping PlayStation games come to the PC.
Well, I do personally, yeah. I'd like all games to be available on all platforms. For me personally, I'd like them on PC so I can play them at their best. Before I became a PC gamer, I used to wish for ports of PC games over to console. I wanted Stalker, Shogun 2, WoW, Armor. Please explain to me why wanting to play a game you're interested in is a bad thing.
Nigga, I'm waiting to see you PC niggas take your strongest and most powerfulest motherfucking PC and start comparing them one by one to console blockbuster hits for $500 motherfucking dollars. 400. I don't even know why he said 500. See, that's another thing too, my nigga. That made me laugh about your little weak, long-haired ass, nigga. It was, you didn't even use the digital version, right? Like you wanted to compare $500 one, so you got the one with the disc.
Watch the video. He brings up the pricing of the digital version. Look, I'm just happy that Thrash didn't go full peasant and start asking for the capture card.
I can't remember the last time Microsoft put out something that made it hype. And you know what's even fucking crazy? Is that PC ain't never put out nothing that hype since fucking Crisis, nigga. Since Crisis, motherfucker. That's the last time that y'all actually had some shit cracking for you niggas was on somebody's motherfucking Crisis.
PC is a platform. PC is not a publisher. PC is not a developer. PC does not release anything. Games release on the PC. Should I start throwing my criticisms of the story in The Last of Us 2 at Mark Cerny? Should I hit up Reggie, even though he no longer works at Nintendo, and tell him to stop releasing shovelware onto the Nintendo store? Am I supposed to blame Phil Spencer for Spider-Man crashing my PS4 3 times during my playthrough? If you don't want to write a script, or maybe some dot points to help with your statements, then my suggestion would be to do a retake and keep doing them until you actually make a coherent sentence with a point that isn't complete garbage.
Your lane is buying parts that cost too much, free slave work, doing mods and fixing games for these companies for free so these companies can sell those games and people can just add your free mod. Your free mod is helping them sell their busted ass games. That's why Bethesda's still here, man. They should have been gone, and then Microsoft bought them in hopes and prayers that you niggas will help still fix their games. They talked about it, my nigga, if you ain't been listening.
In a perfect world, no game would release with bugs. But given the world we live in, I'd rather the option to fix my game as opposed to being trapped with a lesser experience.
I'm gonna leave y'all with this, right? Because it's supposed to be, it's a happy time, and I'm happy. I'm happy, nigga. I really don't have a problem with PC or PC gamers. I just have a problem with people who talk shit.
Okay. I don't have a problem with PC or PC gamers. I only care about games. Nothing comes close to the 3 games I like on PS4. PC doesn't have games. What PC games are even hype? So you don't have a problem, at the same time you are dismissive beyond belief and you only care about games at the same time you discount games that aren't exclusive. If you're going to make an argument this strongly, then it's very clear that you don't care about games. You care about platforms and platform recognition.
Put your games on the table and show me what's better than Ghost of Tsushima on your busted ass fucking PC that you spent all this money on that has all this fucking power, my nigga.
That is way too of a subjective topic to go into and doesn't actually lead to much of a discussion unless you just want to talk about what your favorite games are versus what my favorite games are. Here are my top games in order of enjoyment. You'll quickly notice some of them are multiplats, some are exclusives. In my eyes though, nothing plays better than Doom Eternal. Nothing was more impactful for me than Disco Elysium. No game has ever matched the unique adventure I had in Outer Wilds. After 2 hours with Ghost of Tsushima, I don't have a burning desire to return to it. I'd happily play Doom Eternal any day of the week though. That's the thing about different people and their tastes. There's always going to be a wide range of opinions. Let's get into some real elitist territory here, just to humour him. Thrash's entire argument seems to be that a platform's only worth are the games released on it exclusively, not available on any other platform. So my question to you is, where is RimWorld, Satisfactory, Factorio, Total War, Escape from Tarkov, Dwarf Fortress? My second question will be, does me having access to those games remove the enjoyment you receive playing on PlayStation? Now let's cover the other aspects of a platform. Where is your multi-monitor support? Where is G-Sync? Where is your ultra-wide and super ultra-wide? Where's your tweakable settings for graphics? Where's your drop-down arrow of any resolution you want to choose? Where's your support for any frame rate you're able to achieve? Where's your ability to pick and choose any input you desire at the drop of a hat? Let's get real nitpicky. Where's your paddles on your controller? My controller has paddles. Where's the emulator to run games from almost every console to ever exist? Where's Discord? I use Discord all the time, not just for voice chat and text chat capabilities, but also to stream games to my friends and sister. Now again, does me having access to those features ruin your enjoyment? Does you not having access to them make me enjoy my PC more than your console and make it more valuable? No. You know what beats every PS4 exclusive from a gameplay perspective for me? Doom Eternal at 150 FPS at 3440 by 1440. And you might not even care about that game, which is more than reasonable and is the point I'm trying to make. Different people will value different things. So your fanboy focused argument serves only to create division, whereas I fully recognize that a person may have different tastes, budgets, and interests. I don't become dismissive of a person's chosen platform just because I have access to things that they don't. So somehow I managed to make more points related to Steve from Gamers Nexus than Thrash, despite him supposedly doing a video based on him. Anyway, here's to hoping whatever video he does next is more akin to his Digital Foundry video, where examples are shown and real points are made. Until the next video, have a good one.